What's good, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony, aka the Senator of Chaos and Controversy, and I'm here with I don't know, I guess a trendy, I wouldn't necessarily say popular, but it's a subject matter that people are discussing in reference to the law that was passed to I guess protect Asian people against hate crimes, and they were talking about the Asian hate or whatever. And I had some people ask me, "Well, Tony, you're pretty silent on this particular subject matter. You haven't really said anything whatsoever, and what your thoughts were on the whole, discussion surrounding that particular topic." I said, "Well, basically, if I don't know much about something, I kind of reserve my opinions about things that I okay. So getting to the whole purpose of if people aren't subjected to certain things, if people aren't exposed to certain things, there's really not much of an opinion, I believe, that people could give, and that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking from my standpoint, which baffles me in a sense because it's like when I emphasize and I speak on demographics, it's me trying to point out that not everybody's experience is going to be the same here in this country. Everybody's going to experience something different. And for those sometimes that are in tune with reality, live somewhere secluded with the exclusion of being around particular people and stuff like that, you don't know what's going on. All you know is what the information is fed to you. And I'm going to use this as a prime example. Okay? All that I know about the situation in regards to Asians and what they're going through is based off of the information that is given to me. I, I got to take it with a grain of salt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not quick to, I don't know, just say, okay, yeah, well, if the media tells me this, it ought to be true. But I also have to say, you know, looking at some of the videos, listening to some of the experiences and the testimony, um, I'm not quick to be dismissive of other people's validation of what they've experienced. And that's the thing that people don't practice is taking into consideration the fact of the matter. You know what I'm saying? Just because I haven't been exposed to it doesn't mean that just because I haven't had much interaction with the Asian community that I know anything or everything about what goes on in the Asian community. I know this much. They pretty much keep to themselves. They're not inserting themselves into all this nonsense and this drama and stuff. I say don't mess with those people. Cause for a group that's pretty much reserved, and it's not to say, and I've heard the stories um where, and also understand this, when people speak of the Asian community, people, when I talk about the umbrella mentality, they clump everybody into the same category. So if you say Asian, you could be speaking of Chinese, Filipino, Japanese, um, Koreans, and stuff like that. Because based off our ignorance, we don't know the difference. So we make those prejudicial point of views and throwing everybody into the same category based on how they look. Sounds familiar? Okay. So I'm aware of all of that, you know? Um, but when you get to actually interacting and talking with people and stuff and asking them, what are your experience here in America? And, keep the conversation civil, you know? And there will be a level of respect when, having these discussions with people to, see where they're coming from. Because a lot of people don't practice that. A lot of people were just hell bent on what they are fed. Prejudices, which I'm gonna call it, are formed based off of other people's prejudices, which is, people being followers and stuff. And I know, like, and I was looking at some of these links and stuff, and there were Asian people that were talking about like the anti-blackness, and I was like, because and when I was talking about, and I kind of like in other videos kind of like skipped over it because my mind be racing and stuff, and I have a lot that I want to say, so like a lot of like topics or details that I want to go over, they're overlapping each other because I'm thinking real fast and I'm trying to talk and I'm trying to structure things in my mind as I'm doing these videos, and it doesn't come out the way I want to all the time, but I just allow it to just be organic, so to speak, when I'm having these discussions, so understand that when a lot of people view my videos, they're like, damn, Tony, you seem like you're a little bit all over the place. That's the reason why. I don't sit down and the night before and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna start off with the introduction, then I'm gonna go to the body, and then I'm gonna end it off with, no. I don't do that. I say, okay, this is what I'm gonna talk about today. Boom, I'm gonna freestyle this. That's how I do my videos. Just in case people were wondering. Okay? Hold on a second. I'm a little parched. I need to hydrate with my palate. Hmm. Okay. Now I can continue. But I personally, when I went with my girlfriends to get their nails done and stuff like that, um, both black and white. Okay. Um, I've never had or seen the disrespect, and it's not to say that it doesn't happen because I've seen the videos where you had Tyrone Muhammad out of Chicago go and stand up for sisters and stuff like that because they were being disrespected by these Koreans or Japanese or whoever be doing the nails and stuff like that. They try to tell them, why are you supporting these businesses if you're not getting the respect? That's like you're just accepting the disrespect and bitching about it later on, and then people try to like, be supportive of you and stand in your corner, but it's a slap in their face because you turn around and go right back and buying these fucking weaves and shit and all this other stuff, and then you want to bitch about the service. That's your own fucking fault. I mean, you, you can't make sense of stupidity. People are just fucking hard headed and just whatever. But I'm sure people have in the Asian community have justified prejudices against some black people because, again, like I said, I'm not dismissive of the fact, and I'm very fully aware of there's some ignorant ass black people in the black community, and I've seen it like growing up as a kid. And these are children, so I'm not saying I'm excusing the behavior, but people's immaturity is what it is, especially when you're a child. And when you're around certain people, um, you are influenced to be stupid. When you sitting there making fun of Chinese people and how they talking about their eyes and what does a female's pussy look like? It doesn't look the same like other pussies. Is it up and down or is it sideways and stuff? Some of that stupid nonsense and stuff that they say. And these are kids, and then talk about that ying yong ying yong ying yong ching chong chong chong, talking stupid like that. But then turn around and you're sitting there watching kung fu flicks and shit like that, and total awe, like, oh my god, them Asian motherfuckers can like whoop some fucking ass, and you watching all that, which is where growing up listening to rap, where the Wu-Tang Clan was paying homage to the Asian community, and they're out of New York. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of followers, and of course there was a lot of Chinese influence on the Wu-Tang Clan. RZA had a whole documentary about that shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, but where's the conflict? I mean, I guess it's a lot of it that I've heard had to do with where a lot of the Koreans, for the most part, set up shop in some of these poor and disenfranchised neighborhoods and stuff like that. Some of their attitude towards some black people. But then again, it's like when I talk about everybody being at fault, I'm not making excuses for all black people because I know there's some ignorant ass black people, you know? And just like I said, that there's a lot of people that want the approval of white people, and they take on certain, they adopt certain stereotypes and prejudices towards another group, especially black people. Asians aren't guilt free of that. They've done it, but at the same token, black people have shown their fucking ignorance too towards the Asian community. So it's an unfortunate balance of the scales, but truth be told, that's the reality. That's reality. I've known that. You know, there's too many eyewitness accounts to verify that. You know, but based on my personal experiences, it was different from what other people are telling you, or what you call it, using examples of through their own testimony or videos. When I was when I was a senior in high school, I tell you how this was. I've had enough credit, right? Where no. I take that back. When I yeah. No. When I was a senior in high school, I had enough credit to where I only had like maybe 2 or 3 classes because I was ahead of like my curricular, my curriculums, and I only had to go to school for like half a day. So like, I got up in the morning early. I went to Dunkin' Donuts and I did the morning shift. I went from like, I don't know, like 5:30 to probably like maybe 10. Went to school, did my couple classes, whatever, until like 3:30, no 2:30, and then I got out, did my homework, whatever, which wasn't nothing, and then like probably like around 6 o'clock in the evening, I went to McDonald's and did the closing shift, and there was the night manager. Her name was Kim, and she was like, I mean, I was impressed by this woman. This woman was like, taking orders, doing the math and stuff, helping me on the grill, and at that time, like where the McDonald's was located was off of New Britain Avenue. It was one of those like main busy streets and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there like this woman was doing the work of like 7 people. And, she never disrespected me. Never. She was always polite. She encouraged me to go to college. She told me like basically like trying to give me some game on life and stuff. And yes, she was married to a white guy. But she never made me feel uncomfortable. She said don't limit yourself to like fast food. Always aim higher. And she was giving me a little bit of like background on like how she was, or what her exposure here in America versus where she was from. And I forgot what she said specifically because this was like years ago. Like I'm 45 now. This was back when I was like what 17, 18. But she was. I appreciated her. And her name was Kim, and I appreciated her. You know, and moving forward to like when I moved to Colchester, and I was working at Stop and Shop, which was a grocery store up in Connecticut. One of the major grocery stores. Um, I was the assistant deli manager, but I wore many hats. I knew how to run every department. I knew how to run the deli, the produce, the seafood department, the meat department. Um, um, I didn't do stock, but if they needed my help, I did that. And yeah, but then they every like 3 to 4 years they upgrade the stores and stuff, and they have people come in and expand in the stores, and they do additions to certain departments. And one of the additions that they did to the seafood department was add a sushi. And I spoke to the sushi chefs there and stuff. And amazingly, the Asians that came in to make all like the platters and like the sushi that people eat or whatever, and I'm watching how they're doing it and stuff, and I'm asking them questions and stuff, and they're talking to me and asking me like how did I end up in Colchester, and did I go to school and this, that, and everything else. And they were telling me they were telling me that there's like a bunch of them, and they all kind of like work like the same. Like it's kind of like, say if you had one Stop and Shop here in this location and another Stop and Shop in another location, so on and so forth. They had particular a group of them, and they were like put up in apartments that whatever, like how the Mexicans do. And this is their testimony. This is what they told me. They said what they do is they take all the money that they can on whatever shift, whatever, and then they go back to like their apartment, and they have a very simple way of living. They don't eat much. They don't, what you call it, splurge their money. They keep all their money and stuff, and when it's all said and done, like at the end of each month, like they all chip in whatever. And if you got 4 or 5 people, then the rent ain't nothing. We all know this. And whatever their money is, like they take it back home to their family, or they get enough money to where they start a business of their own. And that's what they were. I forgot what the guy's name was, but he was very soft spoken. He was an older gentleman. He was always smiling, and he was very humble. I mean, very, very, very humble. You know, um, very respectful. And like, and it's like they try to, the ones that I've come across, they always try to encourage you to do better. You know what I'm saying? They always do that. Now, on the flip side of that, outside of America, when you see a lot of these videos of these Chinese and these Africans and how they're always going at each other and how there's blatant disrespect coming from the Chinese to the Africans. And I've seen a couple of videos from the African diaspora, however you say that, whatever. Rockabye Ricky Matrix. He said it for me, but diaspora, I forget it. But there's many different people that cover that channel. The main one is Phil Scott. I believe it's Phil Scott. Um, but he's the most familiar face that when I go to listen to him, his counterparts cover various stories from like the blacks and Asian interactions and police and stuff that goes on in society and stuff and whatever. But they were showing how well they were showing how the Chinese were very disrespectful towards the Africans. And I'm like, it's not just an issue within America. So, but I don't know. I like I said, on a personal note, I've never had any issues with any people of the Asian community. You know, um, I respect people as long as they respect me. That's just for me. That's just cut and dry. Um, if you fix your face and you fix your mouth to want to come at me a certain way, be prepared to have that same energy when I go to respond. That's all I'm saying. You know, and like I've taken the stand and the mental philosophy of my dad is when you've like invested enough time here on this damn earth to where you are of a certain age and you try to be humble and people just choose to be disrespectful for you because they feel like they're entitled to do that. You know, you have to kind of remind people of who you are and that you ain't no little punk ass kid, that you a grown ass man or a grown ass woman, you know? But I think with everything that's going on, it's just like I don't know. And then you got legislation. And like I tell black people, it's like you need to stop supporting people who don't support you. And I'm not saying this, you know, in reference to like Asian people. I'm talking about people like the president that you supported just to you know, think that, oh, if he got the black vote, that he was gonna support you. And these people tell you they support every other ethnic group but you. And I don't know why it has taken this long for people to come to that realization. And this is the reason why I don't support parties and stuff like that. I don't. People say, "Did you go out and vote?" Why? They're not a representation. This is what people don't understand. People who you vote in is not a representation of you. You are the representation of the people who you vote for. This is the reason why fucking Trump got the fucking shit that he got, because of who represented him. Not who he represented, who represented him under his name. That's the reason why Ricky Manning was trying to tell you that there were some fucking assholes that fucking smeared his name because they were showing their asses being prejudiced, being racist and stuff. And Trump basically inherited that unwillingly. You know what I'm saying? So I understood that. I did. Now people say, "Are you a Trump supporter?" No, I'm not a Trump supporter. Do I think that he's better than Joe Biden? Absolutely, I do, because he was looking at things from a business perspective. He was trying to bring business back to the country. He was trying to expand on businesses, like with the pipeline and stuff like that, that Biden shut down and shit. Um, I mean, it's other things like everything else, the semantics and the geriatrics and all that shit about Trump, I didn't entertain and I didn't care to, whatever. But it is what it is. But as far as like the Asian hate, I don't know. Like I said, there's ignorance and ignorance in all races, But, somewhere along the line, you could change people's perspective based on the content of your character. You could change some of these people's prejudices based on your individuality. You know what I'm saying? Um, and this is a prime example. Now I know when I do these videos, I talk about like white people, and I use that with the generalizing tone of my videos. But I know better than that. I know better than that. And this is where I be trying to tell people, like when I talk about, things of this country, the history, the events, but I can't discount the support that white people who didn't share these racial beliefs and stuff like that, who aren't prejudiced, who aren't about like hatred and stuff like that, and they've supported black people. They gave black people a chance. They helped them out of fucked up situations and stuff like that. But just like the good people in the black community are unrecognized, so are the good people in the white community go unrecognized, or they're discounted and stuff. because we're all supporting a particular narrative. And I've said it before. I don't particularly like the tone of some of my videos, but when you're talking about a particular topic that has to do with a particular subject matter, it's like in order to get your point, in order to make a point, you have to use those references. But then, like later on, like I'm doing right now, you have to obviously show the acknowledgement of, I am aware, because that's all people want. You know, they want to be noticed, and they don't always want the negative light shine on them. You know what I'm saying? But I think where the scales need to balance is like just as you can acknowledge that there's good people in a group and stuff, and not all of them are bad. I think what people want is for those people to acknowledge that there is bad and not discount the actions of those bad people. Because when you choose to ignore it, it's like you're giving them a pass. You're giving them a pass to continue to be who they are, which turns around and makes everybody else look bad. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But that's all I got. Um, you already know the routine, and no, I don't have the phone call because I'm not doing a reaction to a video, but I kind of like tell people about themselves when it came to them interrupting me when I was making a video and stuff, because what the call was for wasn't that serious. I'm just saying. So yeah, I had to had to say what I had to say. So, make it known if I choose to ignore your call, there's a reason for that. Don't keep calling me back to back when you can wait to get back to the house to tell me face to face what it is that you want from me. I'm just saying. But until next time, family, until next time, people, you already know what it is. Please like, share, and comment. Give me your thoughts on this video. Peace.